How do you deepen a client's hypnotic trance? Now, this is such an interesting topic, right? But first, I want to preface that the depth of your client's hypnotic trance has nothing to do with the quality of your client's transformation. So please do not rely on how deep your clients are in hypnosis because that does not equal or is not even correlated to the breakthrough that they will have. And, you can have a client with a light trance who comes in and out of conscious thinking. That person can have a better breakthrough compared to someone who's completely deep and somnolent. Um, that client who is deep and somnolent may not have the deepest clients and breakthroughs because it's not the depth, it's actually the quality of your investigation phase in their problem that helps them with receiving breakthroughs, like actual mindset breakthroughs that are fast and lasting. So I just want to preface that for a minute. Because it's not really talked about much, and you can focus so much on how deep your clients is, but truth of the matter is the depth that they have in trance is just the depth of them being relaxed or just the depth of them being internal. Now, what they do in that internal relaxed state is going to be more important than the actual depth itself. So just want to put that out there. But to answer this question about how to deepen your client's trance is this. When you have a client and they're starting to really slow down their cadence in their voice, they're starting to think more about the problem. They're starting to lose words, or they are starting to have a hard time thinking of the words to say, which means that the conscious mind is kind of drifting away, right? Because, their conscious verbs are slowing down and they're becoming more unconscious. They can't really express how they want to say because they're being more internal and unconscious. The best way to do that is to know the best way to deepen that is to notice what you did right before they became deeper, right? So for example, let me give you an example. So for example, you had asked a client about say they wanted to grow their social media business, right? And then, they wanted to grow their social media business. And then what they actually start telling you is that I actually am not very comfortable with attention. They want all the attention for the business because they want to be successful and they want to have the money. But at the same time, they have this conflict of them not being comfortable with attention. And you ask them a question of something like, okay, so you're telling me that you want all the attention in your social media, but you're not comfortable with attention. How does that work? Say that was the question that you asked. And then they stop and they start thinking and they start trancing, right? And they start really slowing down and they can't express themselves. Keep them in that state. The best way to deepen that trance is to keep them in that state. And there's many ways as to how you can deepen that state. You can repeat the question slowly and more with more intention. That word, methodologically, that's the word, with more intention. So repeat that question. So you're telling me you want a lot of attention in social media, but you're not comfortable with the attention. Like be really um, intentional with how you're asking the question and also slow down yourself because you're kind of mirroring it too. The slower your cadence is, the more likely your clients are going to mirror that slow cadence. So if you slow down slightly and be very intentional with asking them question, then they'll start deepening into that trance. And really, the more you get better at this just happens naturally in the hypnotic interview in ACH, where you just get so much better at asking the questions and slowing down and finding out the unconscious responses that you can quite easily within minutes deepen a client's trance and get them to really think about the problem. And so once they start thinking and once they start answering your questions and they start giving you some unconscious information, you can deepen that trance even more, but by literally utilizing the unconscious information that they give you. So, for example, they're with the same example, what they come to you with is something like, yeah, I freeze when like I get the attention. And then you utilize that, right? You utilize them freezing. You ask them questions about why they're freezing, how they're freezing, what happens when they're freezing. Really just keep them into that state that gave them that initial unconscious moment and that trance initially, and magnify that and utilize the things that come up within that trance is how you're going to help your clients get deeper into it and get deep into some unconscious territory. So that's how you would do it. I hope this helps, but again, the depth of the trance doesn't really matter. There are going to be some clients who are going to be more analytical, and while they can go into a deep trance, it might not stay for a very long time. Some clients can go in a deep trance for just maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and that's going to be more than enough for them to get the results. It doesn't have to look like a 20-minute drool cataleptic type trance for them to get results, because it really varies between each and every person. And so when you do find or notice that your clients are going into the trance, just make sure that you keep them there by asking them questions about it and repeating whatever you did that helped you get to that state of trance and hypnotic state with them. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions, make sure you ask, and I will see you soon.